Hello, Starlings.
Welcome to Twin Stars, the show where cosmic wisdom meets everyday magic.
I'm Josie, astrologer, artist, and self-proclaimed chakric pagan. I create custom tarot portraits that alchemize your sun, moon, and rising signs into visual spells of you and for you. I'm here to host you at my hearth of ritual and remind you that magic lives in every breath, every moment, every heartbeat.
And I'm Jamie, astrologer, hypnotist, and Akashic record reader, and the mystical CEO behind the House of Mage. I help you align with the rhythms of the moon, rewire your inner world, and awaken the part of you that was written in the stars and etched in the records of your soul.
We created this podcast to guide you, our fellow starlings, through astrology, energy, and the unseen forces shaping your life.
So wherever you are, close your eyes. Lift your inner gaze to the sky. Above you is a luminous grid. It stretches out wide, a starlit web pulsing with intelligence. Aquarius reminds us we are not separate. We are signals in a shared field, sparks in a great mind, woven together in the breath of the cosmos. Each thought you think, each act of love, each awakening, it ripples outward. You are part of the future being dreamed into form. Live from your heart. Let's begin.
Okay, so here comes the Aquarius full moon. It's, of course, my favorite because I'm an Aquarius sun, and you gotta love the moon that reflects your sun sign. Full Aquarius moon is a really cool one because it highlights the flavor of humanitarianism that is particular to Aquarius. It's made of clear vision, collective liberation, and the connected joy that comes from a sense of soul family. And it's just like this time of year where the dynamic is about sort of the vision, the clear vision of Aquarius, and the little bit of stubborn energy between the fixed signs, Leo and Aquarius. And the stubbornness being, we have to turn things upside down. We have to let go. We have to take a breath. It's sort of like the time of year in Leo season when this full moon happens. It's like a siesta from the busy summer that we've already been experiencing. And it's this sort of quiet moment of stillness that is really a cool moment to sort of capitalize on that energy where the world is buzzing around us and we all just stop for a second and take it in and see what's happening and assess what we've gained in the year and assess where we're going for the for the next 3 months of harvest season. So that said, another thing about that stillness is that fixed modality of Aquarius combined with the element air. It gives you a really nice opportunity energetically to sit in the stillness, and doing that with breath work and meditation is like my favorite way to sort of get that energy going. But I really like that concept of breath work and meditation for Aquarian themes because fixed air in meditation is like so hand in hand. I think the thing about Aquarius being like a cerebral, but sort of seeing it all and being both intuitive and full of wisdom, that has a lot to do with that stillness and receiving information, as opposed to like trying to seek it out and hunt it. It's like a network is there, and all you have to do is open your eyes to it, or your third eye to it. So this full moon specifically calls for detachment from outdated systems and clarity around whatever mold you're meant to be breaking. What is the full moon in general about? Like, what's going on at this portion of the lunar cycle every time it happens, whether it's in Aquarius or not?
What is a full moon? This is like one of my most favorite times. because things are in full culmination. So, astronomically, what a full moon is when the sun is opposite the moon in the sky. So, the earth is in the middle. And because of this, the moon is mirroring all of the sun's light. And because of that, that is when she is going to be the most bright. That is when she is at the height of her cycle. And this is when things are fully grown, revealed, and exposed.
So that's what's happening logistically. And then, of course, there's always all kinds of ancient ideas to come along with the astronomical phenomena.
Yes. In ancient cosmology, the sun and the moon were the two luminaries. Still today, they're like that too. But what the sun expressed was noetic light. And what that means is that it was connected to spirit, the soul's purpose, and eternal forms. The moon, in contrast, was the reflective light. So she weaves eternal patterns into an ever shifting fabric of our daily life. And the reason I really like this allegory of having the fabric and it being woven is because the moon moves very quickly around the earth. This is why we have generally like around 28-day cycles. Um, and in her moving all the time, she's constantly aspecting all the other planets. So because of that, it's like every time she has a little connection or she's opposite or she's sextile something, it's like a little thread gets placed. So her movement is constantly making like a very brilliant tapestry. So it's very brightly woven. And the moon also in ancient cosmology was that material. So it was like the physical world and in the environment that you're in. So by her having these like little conversations with the planets that she's aspecting, it's almost like she has the ability to then take that little conversation and make it a reality in our everyday lives. So it's really about creating something physical with it.
I really love the how these concepts are ancient and they've been there for a long time and we just keep coming back to them. It's so cool. It's like that history of knowledge and sort of creative it's like creative storytelling brings us to where we are now with everything and like what energy we want to bring to or gather from the full moon really.
Yeah. And then, like, in terms of witchcraft and lunar magic, um, the full moon is totally about like a moment to pause and witness and feel what's come forth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is not a time to start casting new spells. This is to really kind of have that moment of reflection and see what's happening, what's revealing itself, what needs to be released in our lives. What kind of truth are we returning to? So the veils are very thin at this time. And I feel like emotions are really heightened. I feel like this is like a lot where that werewolf motif kind of comes up. I know that whenever my husband goes to work on a full moon, I tell him, oh my God, it's a full moon. People are going to be crazy because he works in the bar environments and he's like, oh my God, the werewolves are out tonight. So this is that time for that heightened emotion, but also it's really good time for insights to see what was like unconscious and what wants to come to the surface and to release all the things that no longer serve. So that's, just a little scratching the surface about what a full moon is.
Right.
What practices do you normally do around the full moon?
uh I have my go-to, of course, and it's the moon bath. I like to put a blanket out, gather some of my altar trinkets that I want to get charged in the moon. And when the moon's out, I lay down, put something luxurious on, some flowy skirt or dress, or if I can get naked, that's like preferable, but that's not always an option. So set up my little blanket and I get all of the pieces and I just lay down and meditate. And I feel the same way about the full moon moment as I do about the new moon moment. It's not really a time when I'm doing a spell itself. It's more of a time to sit very still and absorb the energy that's coming from the moon cycle. And especially during eclipses, like really careful not to push too hard or on making demands of the universe during those eclipse moons. So I just lay out and take my moon bath, and I always have a question that's specific to the moon's where it is. Like, so the Aquarius full moon for me, I'm gonna ask myself and meditate on, have I been pragmatic to the point of losing romance in life? And the reason that I like that question for this one is because I'm really feeling that dance between Leo and Aquarius, where Aquarius is sort of doing this over surveillance of everything and keeping all the details um, in place and really like motivated in that, cosmic warrior kind of way. Um, but Leo is reminding Aquarius that it has to be beautiful and it has to be romantic and it has to be fun. And if it isn't those things, then what are we doing? What's the point? You've got to keep that sort of playfulness in, even when you're trying to sort of master everything and sort of make sure you have all the ducks in a row and make sure you're receiving all of the messages. If you don't have that playfulness, you're going to miss that magic there. So that's what I'm going to ask myself for this one. And as I lay there, I'll invite the moon to illuminate me with clarity and fill my cup with wisdom as Aquarius, the water bearer, fills the moon with such. And that's what I will do. I'm definitely curious to hear about what you like to do during the full moon. I feel like water, words, and inner work is kind of the holy trinity for the full moon. What do you get into?
It's similar things in terms of like putting my stuff outside. But that is like a sometimes, I don't do it every time. But there are two like non-negotiables that I do every full moon. Well, with the caveat is of like I don't make moon water every single full moon, because if it is an eclipse season, or if it's an eclipse moon, I don't want to do it. But what I do is I get one of these cute little decanters. I got this off of Amazon. I think it was like about $15. And I fill it up with water and I put it underneath the moonlight. What I love about this is that it's fully clear. So like I know that it's getting good moonlight. Even if it's overcast, still the energy is out there.
Mm,
And then before the sun rises, I'll even set an alarm and I'll make sure that I like scurry out there and I'll grab the decanter full of water and bring it inside. And I really try to just preserve it so that there's no sunlight hitting it. And then what I like to do in the morning is I'll pour it into any container. I don't usually use this glass, but it was a cute one nearby. So I just wanted to show you what I do with the moon water once it's been brewed overnight. I pour it in here or whatever the container is, and I will make an intention and I'll blow the intention into the liquid. So I'll keep it to myself, blow onto the water, and then from there I'll drink all of the water. I make sure no matter what, I drink the all of the moon water I've created that following day, no matter what. And whenever I'm creating the intention, I am bringing something that is related to Aquarius
mm,
into it. This time I'll be thinking about Aquarius themes. Um, Sometimes I will just put like little intentions that I want for myself, and I really feel myself receiving the wisdom and it becoming a part of me by drinking that. It was a combination of the moonlight, my intention, and water, and those things like being inside of me and becoming part of me. So, really associating with that wisdom. The other non negotiable that I do, no matter what, never fails. I will even not go out and do things, if need be, is because I will always do some kind of energetic healing or a meditation on the full moon. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like exactly that time. You know, it could be a little bit after, a little bit before, depending on the astrology and just the energies that are there. But I really, really find it to be so deeply important to connect with myself, connect with my higher self,
Mm.
and really bring those aspects of um of the astrological signs into my life. Every astrology sign has an enlightened aspect and it has a shadow aspect. And I believe that we contain all 12 signs within us. So this is the time to bring forth the positive, the enlightened aspects, to go out into the ethers, to play around, to just have imagination around the positive things, to have that become part of you. So you can do these by like going on YouTube and finding a guided meditation that way. Or you can just like find some meditation music and just close your eyes and just go and see what like unravels. And when you start practicing more and more in those subtle realms will become louder. They're not going to be so quiet. And that's a really fun part of anyone's practice when like the subtle is noticeable. And of course, it would not be a full moon episode without us creating a grimoire. So of course, you'll be able to find that in the show notes. So keep
Yeah.
an eye out for that. As we move forward during this Aquarius full moon, like one of the interesting themes with Aquarius, I think, is like the cosmic calling because Aquarius is so cosmic.
Mhm.
What does that mean to you?
Um, well, I think the cosmic calling is a concept that we uh play with because we want to have that sense of purpose, but the nice thing about thinking about it in terms of cosmic calling is it's like you're being called. You're receiving a message, and the message is why you're here, and why you're here should be coming from your heart and from what you want to be here doing. So to me, the cosmic calling is like listening to the universe and listening to your internal universe to find out why you're here, and why you're here. It's got to be in line with what fills you up, what fills your cup, what makes you feel good, what makes you happy. And so I think it's just interesting that we can utilize astrology to help us find that in ourselves. But what I like about this Aquarius energy that we get from the Aquarius full moon is that Aquarius itself is sort of like the internet base of the astrological wheel. It's like Aquarius is about all the information being available, being able to see it all, organize it all, communicate it all, receive it, and sort of just this all knowing, all encompassing kind of wisdom that has to do with really opening up instead of trying to like make a goal of understanding something. You just open up and listen, and that's what you're going to want to do if you ever want to find a cosmic calling. And so for me, that's what cosmic calling is. It's this energy of like opening up and listening to what you want from it. It's coming from inside and it's coming from outside.
So beautiful. I love that. And it kind of tied in there, like just that subtlety and having that become the inward and outward, so within, so without, those kind of themes. I love those themes.
Me too.
What I was thinking of in terms of cosmic calling is like how everyone has a soul signature,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's something that you can find in the natal chart in astrology, but you can find so many different modalities that will kind of guide you there. But the most important thing that we can ever do is really live out our soul signature. And I like to think of myself and other people as that light behind our eyes. So not necessarily like Jamie living in the US, in 2025, but that kind of eternal spark that's within me. I like to think of it as like a fragrance that only I am, and that by connecting to the subtle realms, by doing meditations, by just contemplating in general, I'm connecting with that part of me, that eternal part. And just to give any kind of light and breath to that is a cosmic calling. And that by interacting with other people, and if I'm doing something like that, maybe they can do something like that. Maybe they are doing something like that. I
Mm,
think that that's, to honor that light within ourselves and to see it in other people is really just a beautiful thing.
hmm. Love it. So I think I really like this quote that you had for us from Howard Thurman that kind of sums up the concept of cosmic calling to me, especially after what you just added too. It's don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive and go do that. And I just think that's like right on the nose.
It really is. It really is.
Mhm.
Thank you for floating in the stars with us today. If anything sparked, stirred, or lit you up,
Share the magic, leave a review, follow the show, and invite others into our celestial circle.
you can find me at House of Mage, where the moon is our mentor and magic is our method.
And I'm at Basic Witch, where art, ritual, and witchcraft meet soul expression.
Until next time, Starlings.
Follow the signal of your soul. Let your light disrupt the ordinary. You are born to broadcast a new world.